Hi there. I'm back today with a yin practice for your hips. We're going to focus on this area through a few yin postures that may be pretty intense or maybe very light for you. Either way, just stay with them and allow yourself to enjoy the comfort or discomfort, whatever you encounter. So at first, just take a comfortable seat. Maybe your legs are crossed, maybe your legs are stretched out. Maybe you need a blanket or even a bolster under your seat so that you feel fine in your lower back. And then close your eyes. You can have your hands at your heart or maybe on top of your heart, or you can have them on your knees. We'll take a couple of minutes to center and set our intention for the practice. I'm sharing this beautiful Caribbean evening with you so that you can hear the calming murmur of the waves. And hopefully that will help you settle in a little bit easier. Allow your spine to grow taller through the crown of your head, but at the same time, relax. Your shoulders drop, your hips are soft, your legs are completely relaxed. Maybe scan your body, and if you find any unnecessary tension, see if you can release it right in this moment. Allow your breath to be natural. There is no need to make it longer or deeper. Sometimes we have all these preconceived ideas of how a breath should be in a yoga class. Try to let them go for now. And trust that your breath, just the way it is simply perfect right now. If your hands are not at your heart yet, bring them to your heart either in a prayer or on top of the heart and connect with your heartbeat. And ask yourself, what is my deep intention for this practice? Why did I click that button for this video? What am I looking for right now? And don't look for any logical answers. Just allow yourself to be open and receptive to whatever your heart may offer you as a response, whether it's words or some kind of feeling, sensation, or an image. And now bring a slight smile to the inside of your mouth. And notice how it changes your entire way of being in this second. Bring a smile into your eyes under the closed lids and see if that changes anything. And if you have an area in your body that doesn't feel very well, maybe it's tight or tired, uncomfortable, or has some pain, try to imagine this area smiling and see if that makes any difference. Slowly release your hand. If your legs are crossed, put them on your knees, and we're going to start with circles. So if your legs are crossed, it's simply like this. If you had stretched legs and crossing your legs is not comfortable, you can do it this way. Hug your legs under your knees and do circles here. Not to worry, it's all good. As long as you are comfortable. So start with circles, very slow. You can start small and then grow them bigger. Or you can start with large circles right away. You can allow your head to move in some ways, maybe stretching your neck somehow. Allow your breath to follow and allow your breath to flow and your movement to follow it. As you do it, notice if your sits bones come off the floor as you go forward or stay on the floor. There is no right or wrong way of doing it. We're just paying attention. Pay attention how your hips are affected by this movement. Some of you will feel it really intensely in your hips, and some of you will feel absolutely nothing. Depends on how open your hips are. Do 3 more circles. And after that, wind up back to center. Regroup here. Allow your spine to grow to the sky. Allow your hips to be soft, your shoulders to be soft, and your face to be soft and slightly smiling. And then when you're ready, go to the opposite direction. Maybe starting small at first and then growing bigger. Or starting with large circles from the beginning. Try to get into the energy of the movement. Feel it really deeply. Allow yourself to become one with your breath and with this movement. Three more circles. and then wind up back to center. Once again, regroup here, soften your whole body, and at the same time, grow tall through the crown of your head. Enjoy this moment. Maybe close your eyes for a second. Breathe naturally. And we'll go into our first Yin pose, which in Yin practice is called butterfly. It looks a bit like Baddha Konasana, but the soles of your feet are together, but the soles of the feet are quite away from your groin, so don't try to put them very close. Once again, open your heart, grow the spine tall, relax the shoulders, and then very softly, gently, bring yourself down. You can allow your spine to round here. It's not a problem. So maybe you're just folding just a little bit. Maybe you're here. It's fine. No problem at all. Your head can hang. If you're a little bit closer to your legs, you can put your elbows somewhere on your legs and put your hands under your forehead. Or if you have a block or a bolster, you can bring a bolster under your forehead. Find a comfortable position for your arms and relax. Similarly, if your hips are quite open, you can go all the way down onto your feet, or at least somewhat down, maybe using a blanket or a block to prop your forehead. This is the variation that I like to use. Personally, I also like to put my arms under the legs, bringing my head down. But it is a personal choice, and for some people it doesn't feel good. Most importantly, find a good position for your head, for your arms, and be comfortable. Find a position that allows you to relax. Because if you're not relaxed, if you are all tight up, you're not gonna get the benefits of this posture. Also, don't strive to go as far, as deep as you can. In Yin practice, less is definitely more. And especially if you know yourself to be very bendy, watch your poses and make sure you're not overstretching, because in Yin practice, every pose is held for about 3 to 5 minutes. We will stay here for a couple of minutes. But if it starts feeling uncomfortable and too intense, you're welcome to come out of it at any time and either do windshield wipers or just lie on your back, hugging your knees into your chest. While you stay in the posture, scan your body from the soles of your feet all the way to the crown of your head. And notice if you have any tension
that can be easily released, that's really not necessary right now. And release it. Interestingly, you can scan 10 times in a row, and every time you will find something new to release. If at some point you feel that your body opened up and you can go deeper, make a choice whether you want to go deeper or not. As I mentioned before, deeper is not necessarily better. So decide depending on how you feel right now. Take 5 more nice and long breaths. And when you're done with those 5 breaths, you're going to slowly bring yourself up. When you're out of the pose, you can bring your hands behind your back and put your feet flat on the floor, doing windshield wipers with your legs. You can take it into a little bit of a back bend, take your head back. Or if this movement doesn't feel good, you can hug your knees and just round your back here, kind of hanging on your legs. When you feel ready, bring yourself back to center. And we're gonna do a pose called half straddle. You don't need any props. I'll show you how to use them if you need them. And some of you may not even want them at all. So one leg, let's do right leg in, left leg out, as far to the side as it feels comfortable. So for some of you, maybe it's going to be completely to the side. I am not very open this way. Opening your heart, lengthening your spine, and grounding through your sits bones is the setup for this pose. Soften your leg. Maybe even put something under your knee, like a blanket, or if you don't have any
any yoga props, that's not a problem. You can just improvise, put a little cushion or a pillow from your bed, whatever you want. So we don't want this leg to overstretch because again, we're going to stay here for quite a while. With the open heart, you're going to slowly walk your way forward. This time, you don't want to round your back. So as long as you feel that your lower back rounds, stop. And this is the depth for you today. If you feel that this leg is pretty intensely stretching, maybe bend the knee a little bit more. You may even want to put it like this, foot flat on the floor. That's also fine. So my straddle is not very open. Some of you will be able to go all the way down to the floor without any problems. So totally your choice. Again, without striving. If you need to strive to go there, then reconsider it. Only if it feels really easy. For some reason, it helps me to have some kind of elevation, like a bolster, to put my elbows on, and I feel more supported here. Or you can put a book or a block here, for example, and put your head here. So a lot of options to prop yourself so that the pose feels manageable. We're going to stay here for 3 minutes. Once again, and I suggest that for every single pose in the Yin practice, scan your body, maybe even multiple times, to notice where you have this tension that can be released right away. And if you bring this very habit into your daily life, and kind of always on the background, scan your body over and over again, perhaps at some point without even noticing it, you will develop a habit of relaxing your body more and more, and that will have amazing results. Allow yourself to bring a slight smile on the inside of your mouth into your eyes and see if this little smile makes the pose more manageable, more enjoyable. Maybe it even helps you to go deeper in the pose without trying. So I feel that I can go quite deeper right now. So for the last few breaths, I'm going to do that. Go for it. Maybe you feel the same. Decide whether you want to take this opportunity or not. totally optional. There is no striving in the yin practice. It's all about softness and acceptance. Very gently and slowly start bringing yourself out of the pose. And take yourself onto all fours. And maybe even into downward facing dog to stretch the legs by walking them out. Or perhaps you prefer child's pose. Take a couple of moments in this transition, doing whatever it is that feels good in your body right now. And then we will meet on all fours. Just stretch the spine a little bit, just for the fun of it. Inhaling, heart open, and exhaling, rounding through the back. Do it 3 more times. Inhale, forward, arching the back. Exhale, up, rounding the spine. And now let's bring the right leg between your hands. Walk your right foot to the edge of your mat and bring both hands on the inside of your foot. See if you can straighten the back leg as much as you can by walking your foot more and more back. Or if you prefer, you can take your knee off the floor. See what works better for you in terms of stretching your hips. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can take your toes of the right foot to the right side, or maybe even put your, hi Matryoshka, maybe even put your foot on the outer edge of it. So that will open the hip a little bit more, but it may be too intense. So whatever you prefer is fine. Staying here is quite intense already for most of us. So maybe you'll be here. Or maybe if you want to, you can go all the way down onto your forearms. Whatever you do, relax your head. Relax your neck. Again, if you have some kind of props like blocks or bolster or some kind of cushion, maybe a good idea to bring it under your forearms. Maybe something to prop your forehead. I like it when my back leg is straight and the knee is off the floor, but it's completely optional. The knee can be on the floor. See if with each exhale you can relax your hips and soften through entire body a little bit more. I know this is quite an awkward pose for most of us. But try to find some sort of comfort in this discomfort, because it's quite a useful skill for life itself to be okay with the discomfort. Not to push through it, but really to just be okay. You don't have to like it. You don't have to want it. But you know it's inevitable. However, if you are in complete pain and it's so intense, please don't push through it. Allow yourself to come out as soon as you feel this. Let's take 3 more breaths. Very gently come back onto your hands and bring your right foot back behind you. Again, perhaps it's a child's pose that you like here, or maybe a downward dog to stretch both legs again. Come back onto all fours and take your hips from side to side and your head from side to side. Then take your right knee right in front of your left. Open your feet wide and see if you can sit on the floor between your feet. Again, maybe it's not an option at all. If that's the case, you can take a bolster or a block or any prop that you may be using for that under your bum. Another way to enter this pose is from just sitting at the top of your mat. And here what you can do is this. You can take your right knee, stack it on your left knee. If it's possible, then bend your left leg. If it's too much, keep this leg straight and maybe prop it with a blanket under the knee. In fact, I'm going to do this version. Why not? So stay here. Relax the left leg. Relax the right leg. Relax your hips, but grow tall with your spine. We'll work the shoulders a little bit while we're here. Open up your arms to the sides. Inhale. Stretch them out as if you wanted to hug the entire world. And as you exhale, bring your right arm over your left, elbow to elbow. And if you can, connect your hands. If you can't, no problem. Bring your hands onto your shoulders. Either way, bring your elbows a little bit higher and your shoulders a little bit lower. And one more detail. Bring your forearms a bit away from your face. Notice how that rounds your upper back a little bit, stretches it a little bit further. And then once again, scan your body, maybe a few times, and notice where you have tension. And see if this tension can be released.
stay in this pose a little bit longer, but at any point you want, you can release your arms and maybe roll your shoulders. If you want to keep your arms in the eagle position for the duration of the pose, that's fine also. By the way, the pose that we did before is called dragonfly, and this one is called shoelace. In the Yin practice, the poses have different names from the Hatha practice, which makes sense, I guess, so that we don't confuse it, trying to apply the same action as in Hatha yoga, because action in the Yin yoga is really non-action, just allowing, accepting, softening, and simply being without any striving. For the last few breaths of the pose, if you want to, you can fold forward over your legs. Here you can round your spine. If you have a block or a blanket to put under your forehead, go for it. Or maybe just bring your elbows to the blanket you're using under your knee, or if your both legs are bent somewhere on your legs, and bring your hands under your forehead. Slowly start coming out. Bring both legs forward. Shake them out. Perhaps give them a little bit of a massage. And now we'll do all those 3 poses that we did on the other side, just reversing the sequence. So the first one is going to be the one we just did. Your left leg on top of your right, stacking up the knees. If you have a bit of a gap here, you can bring a blanket here or anything else like a book or a block, whatever. If you want to keep your legs straight, or bring the leg back. Try to sit on the floor between your feet and not on your feet. I'm gonna do this variation for this side. Again, allow yourself to grow tall through the crown of your head. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips, and open up your arms to the sides. Inhale, open a little bit more, stretch those fingers away from each other, and exhale, take your left elbow onto your right, eagle arms or hands on your shoulders. Remember, your elbows a little bit higher, your shoulders a little bit lower, and your forearms a bit away from your face so that the upper back stretches. We'll stay here for a couple of minutes. You can release the arms at any point.
This is a good position to roll your head around, working your neck if you want to. If you prefer to stay still, that's perfectly fine. And for the last few breaths, if you want to, you can fold over your legs. Keep your legs relaxed, soft, and your whole body soft and relaxed. Slowly start coming out. Bring your legs forward. Give them a little bit of a walk or a massage or shake. And maybe take a short forward fold here. And when you're ready, transition onto all fours. Bring your left leg between your hands. Walk your left foot to the left edge of your mat. If you want to, you can open up your toes. If you want to, you can bring the outer edge like this, or keep your foot flat like this. Either way is good. Remember, your back leg can be straight completely, knee off the floor, or you can keep your knee on the floor. Just walk your foot as far back as it feels good for the hip stretch. Stay here on your hands, or if you want to, bring yourself onto your elbows. Try to relax your elbows though, your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your face and experiment with this inner smile. 2 minutes here. You can always experiment with tiny adjustments in any pose. What happens if I move my foot just a little bit to the left or to the right? What happens if I put my hips a little bit to one side or the other? Walk my back foot back more or bring it more forward. Sometimes a tiny change, a tiny adjustment can create a world of difference for the posture. So don't be shy to experiment. Just a couple more breaths. Take one last breath and then slowly start coming out, bringing yourself onto all fours, maybe doing some movement, maybe go into downward dog or child's pose or anything else that feels good. We'll do it for a few breaths. Take your time, no rush. When you feel ready, bring yourself back to your seated position at the top of your mat. And we're gonna do the half straddle pose. Your left foot is gonna be in your groin and your right leg as open as it feels okay for you. Remember, you don't want to overstretch this leg, so it's advisable to have something under your knee. Then maybe a little something under your belly. Remember that if you want to, you can always elevate it a little so that you can go and relax onto it, or you can just use it as a prop to bring the floor a little higher to you. Relax your right leg, relax your head, your neck. Remember to keep your back flat. So as soon as your lower back rounds, this is where you stop. As you can see, it's pretty high for me, but I'm okay with that. If you're more open, of course, you're welcome to go all the way to the floor if you want to, or anywhere else. Here, I constantly have to pay attention to my right leg, because if I don't, I will be tensing it and overstretching it. So I just try to make sure that it's soft and free. Remember that you can even put your right foot flat on the floor and completely bend the knee if you can't find a good position for it. Take a few more breaths here, however many you feel you need. I am pretty done here. It's quite intense for me. So I'm gonna slowly come out, but you can stay longer if you want. From here, we're just gonna go into Shavasana. Maybe before we do this, gently massage your legs. They deserve it. And for Shavasana, if you have a blanket for your head or a nice pillow, and if you have some kind of a cushion or bolster or another pillow for under your knees, go for it. That way you can relax your lower back a little bit better and the whole experience can be more enjoyable. When you settle into your Shavasana, close your eyes and listen to the sounds of the waves. Let it take you wherever it wants. Maybe imagine your own awareness to be the ocean. And you are just swimming in this ocean of your awareness, bobbing up and down, frolicking around, happy, joyful, sometimes sad, frustrated. Allow yourself to just be. No need to do anything else. Just be and watch your own ocean of awareness. You're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for however long you want. The longer the better, in fact. It is recommended to stay in Shavasana 20 minutes a day and sometimes to do nothing but Shavasana. It's really a good practice for your nervous system. So if you can and want to stay, go for it. I am going to close this practice because it's getting dark and you won't be able to see me afterwards anyway. So if you're closing with me, bring your hands to your heart. Once again, find your heartbeat and appreciate it. And appreciate yourself, taking the time out of your busy day to do something wonderful for your body, mind, and spirit. Appreciate the life that allows you to do so. And I thank you very much for clicking that button, watching this video, and sharing this experience with me, even though we may never meet. Have a lovely day. Namaste.